Hi everyone, this is Mehul Sheikh and today I'm going to start a new tutorial series where I will discuss about C++ programming language. Okay, so here as you can see I have listed down some points. We'll see all these points one by one. Okay, so let us start with the first point, which says C++ was developed by B. John Stroustrup at Bell Laboratory in 1979. Okay, so the developer who developed the C++ programming language is B. John Stroustrup. Some people pronounce it as Byron Stroustrup, or some people pronounce it as John Stroustrup, and some people also pronounce it as B. John Stroustrup. Okay, this C++ language was developed by B. John Stroustrup at Bell Laboratory in 1979. Okay, so prior the development of C++ language, B. John Stroustrup and his fellow mates had developed C language. Okay, and then later on they come up with the new programming language with new features and functionalities and support, and they come up with the C++ language in 1979. Okay, and C++ is an extension of C programming. Okay, so what does this mean? That apart from having complete features of C, the C++ also contains some additional features like polymorphism, inheritance, okay, objects, classes, concepts, data abstraction, data hiding, overloading. So the C++ has its own features, and these features are very useful in designing the programs. Okay, now so C++ is an extension of C programming. As I already told you that prior the development of C++, there was a C programming which has less support, which has less features. Okay, so now the C++ has come up with new features, okay, along with retaining the features of C as well. Okay, now the next point says it's one of the world's most popular programming languages. Okay, so many people are using C++ programming. People are using it for institutional purpose or educational purpose. People are using it for developing compilers. People are using it for developing operating systems. Okay, so it's one of the widely used and most popular programming languages because many people are using it for various purposes. And the next point says C++ is inspired by a computer simulation language called Simula. Okay, so before the development of C++ there was a programming language which is Simula, and the Simula was a computer simulation language. And this C++ programming language is inspired. The developer of the C++, which is B. John Stroustrup, has taken some of the major features of Simula and added it into C++ programming. Okay, now the next point is C++ is a programming language which allows us to write the programs using classes and objects. Okay, so now C++ contains, or C++ allows us to write the program using classes and objects. The concept of classes and objects were not present in the earlier version of it, okay, which is C. Okay, so in C we used to write programs only with the functions or procedures, but in C++ we are writing the programs using classes and objects, and B. John Stroustrup and his fellow mates has included the concept of classes and objects into C++ to make it more robust and effective. Okay, next point says it follows object-oriented programming approach which allows the users to write clear, structured and reusable code. Okay, since this C++ follows object-oriented programming approach with the help of which users can write clear, clean and neat code, and that code can be structured properly. Structured in the sense we can easily find various parts of the code. Okay, if I want to debug the code I can easily debug it. If I want to find any error, I can easily find an error. Okay, so I don't have to spend so much time in just understanding the code. That's what structured is all about. Okay, so that can be achieved using object oriented programming. Okay, and reusable as well. Okay, so it's one of the important feature, which is reusability. Okay, so once we write the program using object oriented programming approach, our code will be structured, clear, and reusable. Okay, we can use that code anywhere we want. Okay, suppose you have done a functionality and tomorrow you want to use that same functionality in some other project, then instead of writing down the same functionality once again, you can use the earlier functionality which you had done for your previous project. Okay, so that can only be possible if you have written that project using object oriented programming. Okay, so whatever code we write with the C++ programming language, that can be structured and reusable. Next point says it has the concepts of classes, objects, polymorphism, inheritance, data abstraction, encapsulation, overloading, and many more. Okay, so these are the features which makes a distinction between C and C++. Okay, so all these concepts and features are not present in C. Okay, we will see each and every concept in our later classes. Okay, now the next point is C++ supports procedural oriented programming and object oriented programming approach. Okay, so what is procedural oriented programming? In procedural oriented programming, we are not designing our program using classes and objects. Okay, instead of that, we are dividing our entire program in various procedures and various functions. Okay, but in the case of object oriented programming, we design the entire program based on the classes and objects. We create a class, and inside that class we declare data members, member functions, and inside the main we create an object of that class, and with the object of that class we use to refer both data members and member functions. Okay, so that is the difference between procedural oriented programming and object oriented programming, and we can design our program using both of these approaches in C++. And the last point says C++ is very easy to learn. Okay, so these are some of the points which we can consider as an introduction to our C++ tutorial series. Okay, so I hope you understand each and every point of this introduction of C++, and that's all for this video. And if you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And thanks for watching.